Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I thought we would do a video all about Rouje. I feel like Rouje is a brand that doesn't get enough love on this channel, so I wanted to change that. I'm going to show you all of my Rouje pieces, my entire Rouje collection as it stands. I recently picked up a couple of new bits from their archive sale, so I can show you those, plus my existing pieces, tell you what I think of them, what I generally recommend when it comes to Rouje, what I tend to avoid as well. And then in the second half of the video, we're going to talk about the new collection, the latest drops, and just talk about them as we usually do on my laptop as I share my screen, and we can discuss what I think of the new pieces in the spring collection. We may as well start with what I'm wearing, as this cardigan is one of the archives pieces that I picked up in the last few weeks or so. I actually placed two separate orders because there was a couple of pieces I bought that I wanted to change the size on. So in the second order, I decided to add this cardigan to the mix. I originally tried a brown version of this. It wasn't actually exactly the same cardigan. It was a slightly different style, but they were very similar, like a more cropped-ish, it's like a little bit cropped, kind of cardigan with quite big shoulders in the chocolate brown, and I did really like it, but there was something a little bit off about the fit of that one, so I sent that one back. And then I don't know what possessed me, but I just thought I would try this one instead because it's a different style name, different colour obviously. I think it was a slightly different composition as well. It had different buttons. The other one had quite like cheap feeling buttons. They were almost just made of wool, but I think they had like a base to them, like a cardboard or something, and then they were covered in wool, but they felt quite delicate, like they wouldn't really hold up over time, whereas these have traditional like faux tortoiseshell buttons, so these feel a lot more sturdy, and I much prefer this cardigan to the brown one I tried. So if you're looking at the two, because they are really similar, I would go with this one. Now, the one thing I really love, and I was pleasantly surprised about this cardigan, is that it isn't itchy at all, which is really weird because it's almost all wool mohair. I think it's 41% mohair, 41% alpaca, and 16% polyamide. So it's like 82% mohair alpaca, which usually I would find so itchy, but for some reason I have this on bare skin now and it isn't itchy at all. I would give this like a 1 of 10 on the itch scale, and I'm pretty sensitive to mohair and alpaca, as you'll know, so I was really pleasantly surprised to find a mohair alpaca fluffy knit like this that wasn't scratchy, that wasn't itchy. I don't know why, I don't know what it is about this one in particular, because I've tried knits from Rouje in the past that have been very scratchy, but for some reason this style is not. So if you're looking for something for sensitive skin, but you want that fluffy texture, I would definitely recommend this one. I'm wearing a size 40, and you'll see from the clips, it fits me really well. I do tend to go for a size 40 or a 42 in Rouje, depending on the piece, but I do have one piece, I think, maybe two, in a 38. So their sizing, I feel like their sizing is a little bit all over the place, to be honest. Some things run really small and some things actually run a little bit big, and then some things are true to size. So it is one of those brands, unfortunately, where you do kind of have to try it on, which is kind of annoying if you live outside of Europe because the returns are not free. In the UK, at least it costs £10 to return a parcel to Rouje. I don't think it matters how many pieces are in the parcel, whether it's one item or 10, it's just like a flat fee of £10. So it's not terrible. I think it's worth it. If you want to order a few bits to try and you really want to get a feel of the brand, I think paying £10 to do that is not terrible, especially because I think you can get 10% off a Rouje order quite easily. I think they have 10% promo codes quite often, so you're kind of saving the money that way. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, right? But either way, I really like this one. That was a bit of a sidetrack. I can't remember why I started talking about that, but anyway, I really like this cardigan, would definitely recommend. If any of these pieces are still available, they'll be linked down below as well. Okay, next up, moving on to tops. This is where the bulk of my pieces are. I should say I don't have any trousers from Rouje. I don't have any skirts. I don't have any dresses either, which is quite surprising. I feel like they're quite well known for their dresses, but most of them tend to be made of viscose, which you know I avoid. And even if they're not made of viscose, the fit tends to be not great for me personally in my body type. So I tend to stick to tops, jumpers and cardigans, and coats and outerwear as well. I have tried a skirt from Rouje and a couple of dresses before in my original Rouje video from 3 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, I think. Can't remember. I will link it in the cards either way. The next piece I have is this gorgeous top. This is one of my favourites. I probably should have put these on hangers, but of course you'll see the try on clips. I can't remember the name of this either. I can't remember the name of most of these pieces if I've had them a while, so they'll be linked down below if they're still available. But I absolutely love this top. It's like a tie neck. If I put it in the sun, can you see it better? It's like a tie bow neck detail with this collar, and it's like a knit top, knit material. I think it's modal actually. This is 69% Tencel, 29% wool, 2% elastane, so it has some stretch to it. It's really nice. It's just like a really good, simple, everyday top that has a little bit of that French detail with that tie bow and the rounded off collar, but it isn't too extravagant, it isn't too much, it's just simple. You could easily wear this to work. I have this in a size 42. Could probably have done the 40, it has a nice amount of stretch to it, but I don't like anything too tight. I almost feel like things look better when they're just slightly loose. So, especially because I feel like things like this often do shrink a little bit when you wash them, however careful you are. So I always tend to go bigger if I'm unsure, and I'm pretty pleased with this one. So yes, that's the next one. And then I have a couple of these like basic tops. These are Pointelle tops in different compositions. So we'll start with this one. I wore this in one of my recent videos, my dough end video, and I had a couple of questions on it, and I love this top. It's one of my favorite tops that I have from Rouje. It is, can you see that? It is like a floral Pointelle organic cotton little top, long sleeved with a square neckline. It's got quite a deep square neckline, but for me personally, it's absolutely fine. I don't have any issue wearing a bra with it. This is 95% organic cotton, 5% elastane, made in Portugal. I do find the composition of Rouje pieces so hit or miss. Some of them are terrible. They're like all polyester or all viscose. And then some of them are like organic cotton, made in Portugal, really lovely. And this is one of those. So I really like this top. It's got little scallop trims on the cuffs and also on the neckline as well. And as I said, it is quite a deep square neckline, but I find it really nice on my smaller chest. So yes, I really like that one. I also have that one in a size 42. And then I have a similar top. Now, I ordered this in the archives again because I already own the floral one. And when I was on the website, I mistakenly thought that this was the same design in just a different colour, but it isn't, unfortunately. It's a little bit of a different design. I still kept it because I still actually really like it, but it's not quite as nice as the first one. You'll actually see from the first one that this has buttons all the way down. And how I like to wear it is I like to keep the last two buttons undone to give a little bit of a kind of almost flared like waist effect at the bottom. Whereas this one, I didn't realise, doesn't have the buttons all the way down. It's just like I don't know what you call that, but like it's got the 3 buttons at the top and then it's plain down, so you can't do that thing where you open the buttons at the bottom. So I tend to sort of front tuck this or tuck it all the way in. To be honest, this is one of those tops, this is so soft. This is almost like a loungewear, pajama wear top, but I also would wear it out of the house as well. It's one of those hybrid tops that kind of, you can just wear whatever the occasion. You can wear it as part of an outfit, you can layer it, or you can just wear it as pajamas or loungewear around the house because it's incredibly soft. In this grey Pointelle, has the little, they're almost like jewel buttons rather than tortoiseshell or anything like that. It's also got really pretty trims around the neckline. This one I also have in a size 42, but the composition of this one is modal, I think. Oh, it's actually acrylic. Oh, okay. This is 85% acrylic, 15% modal. So I probably wouldn't have bought it had I known that. But once it arrived and I felt how soft it was, and because I got it in the archives for about half the price of the retail cost, I did decide to keep it just because it's really comfortable and really soft and really nice to wear. So yeah, but if I'd have known when I was ordering it that it wasn't cotton, it was acrylic, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And then the final piece I bought from the archives, only piece that still has the tag on, I haven't yet worn this. Just because I haven't had the chance. I've only had these pieces a couple of weeks or so. This was a really good deal. I think this was about £35 or 35 euros in the archives, and so I decided to order it just because I thought it was a good basic to have for spring. Not a very spring colour, but you know me, I still love my burgundy all year round, and it is a bodysuit. So again, it has that very pretty, it's not Pointelle, but it's like a lace detail along the edges. The trim is all lace, and then it's a ribbed design, short sleeved, little short kind of mid-length sleeves, and then yeah, it's a bodysuit at the bottom with poppers. Really, really nice. This one is also in a size 42. I believe this one is cotton. No, this is modal. I'm getting really confused. This is 96% modal, 4% elastane, made in Portugal. But it was a very, very soft, and it just fits really well. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. I feel like this will be good for wearing with a skirt or a pair of trousers. Even the trousers I have on now, the Martin crop trousers, feel like this tucked in would be really nice. I do love a bodysuit for that tucked in look. If I want to wear something completely kind of seamless, it's just so much easier than trying to tuck in a top or a t-shirt. So yeah, again, probably something I wouldn't have bought full price, but in the archives price, it was a really good deal, and I'm glad I picked it up because I don't really have anything like this in my wardrobe. Okay, moving on to the rest of the pieces now. So these are pieces I've had for a little while. This top I bought in January, actually, in the sale. I can't remember why I bought this, but I did. Oh, I had a gift card. That's why I was like, I know I didn't spend my own money on this, but I can't remember why I bought it. Yeah, I had a gift card, so I bought this top, and I absolutely love this. This is one of my favourite Rouje pieces I own. It's just really pretty. It's simple. It's really comfortable. It's easy to wear, but it's so elevated compared to just wearing a plain t-shirt, for example. So I really, really love this one. It's quite a deep V, but again, I find it okay because I don't have a bigger chest. But if you have a bigger chest, it might be a little bit too low cut. It's got very pretty like contrast lace trim, these little buttons, which again, you can leave undone or you can do up. It does actually have like a gap at the bottom, so I don't tend to undo the buttons because it already has it sort of built in, which I like because it's longer, so you're getting a different look from a crop top or a tucked in top, but it still has that waist definition because it's got that little kind of separation of the material. I find it quite flattering, and it's also got little lettuce, it's called lettuce hem, yeah, lettuce hem, little sleeves, and along the bottom as well. I also got this one in a 42, probably could have done a 40 in this as well, but again, it's comfortable. I like it in that slightly bigger size, and it's 95% organic cotton, 5% elastane, made in Portugal. I'm not sure this one is available anymore, unfortunately, but if it is, I'll link it. If you're anything like me, you have an array of white lacy blouses. It's kind of my thing. I love to collect them. I have a few from Suzanne, and this is the one I have from Rouje. This is really pretty. I actually really love this. I like this a little bit more than my ones from Suzanne, to be honest. There's something very vintage feeling about it. It's a little bit more vintage inspired rather than more like modern Parisian than the Suzanne ones are. Something to do with this kind of the squared off collar. It's not one of those really big frill collars that we see everywhere at the moment, which are really cute and feel like very cutesy and feminine, but are more modern. This is very vintage, like Victorian-esque, which I love. It's got lace down it. It's got lace on the sleeves. It has lace on the back, so all of the details go on the back, which you don't really find at Suzanne. And then obviously the collar is there as well. This is 100% cotton, I believe. Let me just check that. I think it should be. Yeah, it's 100% organic cotton made in India. Really pretty. I bought this one in a 42. I shouldn't have bought this in a 42. I should have bought it in a 40. I don't really know why I bought it in the 42. I think it was a mistake. Either way, it's absolutely fine. I feel like, again, if I wash this, I haven't washed this yet, but if I do, I reckon it will shrink a little bit. So I'll probably be quite glad that I sized up, but you definitely don't need to size up in this one. Actually, I find that if anything, it runs a little big, whereas the rest of the pieces I've shown, I would say run true to size, if not a little bit small. I have just one pair of shoes from Rouje, which you may have seen if you watched one of my weekly vlogs, my outfit vlogs. These Suede heeled loafers. I love these so much. I am kind of waiting for spring to wear these because if I tried to wear these now, I would probably ruin them, although it's really sunny today, as you can probably tell. So I probably could wear these today. These are just gorgeous. These are the Dorothy or Dorothea, can't remember, loafers made in Italy. These ones actually, I would say, run true to size, if not a little big. So if you are between sizes, I would go down a size, which I find that I've tried a couple of Rouje shoes before, maybe just one pair. I tried these espadrilles that I bought on Vinted a few years ago, and I had to sell them because they were so tight in my usual size. Whereas these actually, I would say, run a little bit big. So if you're looking at them, they come in black, they come in this brown suede, and they come in a python-esque print. I would say go smaller if you're between sizes, or go true to size. But yeah, I really love them. I just think they're so 70s, so cool. The heel is like quite high for my liking. Probably a little high for every day for me, but for a special occasion, an event, an outing, I would definitely wear these. And I feel like because they're a loafer, they're a lot more comfortable than a heeled sandal would be or a heel would be. So even though the heel is high, you have that comfort everywhere else, which kind of compensates for it a little bit. And then finally in my collection, I just have my outerwear. I have two coats from Rouje. I have to say, I was so tempted to get this floral puffer from the archives. I really wanted it, and I held back, I resisted, because I don't think I need it, but I absolutely love it. I wish it wasn't on a black background. I think if it wasn't on a black background and it was maybe like an ecru or like even just like a brown, I don't know, something wasn't black, because black is quite harsh, but I do love it. I kind of wish I'd bought it. But anyway, I have these two coats from Rouje. They're both pink. You'll probably know this one. I bought this one for my 30th birthday. This is the Edwin coat. They have this in the archives in, I think, a navy and maybe a taupe as well. But I love the pink. I think the pink is beautiful. I still got this on sale. It just wasn't part of their archive sale. It's kind of confusing. They have like a January sale, like a winter sale, post-Christmas sale. And then they have the archive sale, which is different, comes later, and is more like old season stock rather than new season stock being reduced. So it's a little bit confusing, but yeah, I did get this in the January sale. Just a beautiful coat. I got this one in a size 40. It's got a lovely Rouje lining. This one is 100% wool, which I was really happy about. I really like, again, it's one of those things where Rouje composition can be terrible or it can be really good. And there's almost like no in between sometimes, but I was really happy that this one was 100% wool for the price I paid at the sale price, and I've absolutely loved wearing this. I've worn this numerous times already. And then the other coat I have from Rouje, you've probably not seen. I bought this on Vinted, and this is another pink coat, but in a different shade of pink. And this is like a classic silhouette for Rouje. They do this coat in a different colour every season, or at least every winter season. I think it's called the Gerard coat or something similar. I will definitely leave it linked because they'll definitely have a version of this in the current season. But this pink one I believe was from like 2021, around that time, a few years ago. And as I said, I got it on Vinted. I just couldn't resist this. I've always wanted this coat. I've seen it for years on their Instagram, styled on their website. And when I saw it on Vinted in this shade of pink in particular, I knew I had to get it. This is in a 38, so a size down from the other coat. I think if I had the choice, if I was buying this new, I probably would have bought a 40, just to give myself a little bit more room. It's definitely tighter than the 40, obviously, but it's fine. Like, it fits fine. It's still, you know, I can still do it up. I can still wear it totally fine with a jumper, just maybe not something uber thick if I was layering up. But yeah, absolutely love this one. And it's a longer style. It's a different shade of pink. This is like a warm pink. The other one's more of a cool toned pink. I love them both personally, and I was so happy that I got this. I got this really, really cheap. I can't remember exactly how much I paid. I think it was like 120 or something like that, which for this coat, I had a look on Vestiaire, had a look on eBay, and if you find this coat, rarely it is for sale because it's so popular, but if it is, it's normally like £300. So really, really happy that I got this so cheap. Okay, and finally, before I go, I'm going to talk a little bit about the new collection, see what has been released. I actually think some new pieces dropped today, just coincidentally. I was going to do this video anyway, but yeah, I think they dropped today. So let's see. Oh, I can't look at new all. Can I? New in. Ooh, okay. I think actually the new collection is not out yet. I think it comes out tomorrow, but because I'm like signed up to their email newsletter, I get a preview of it before it's actually released. So it's the new collection with model 90s supermodel Helena Christensen. I'm very ignorant, I don't know who that is, but I'm sure she's lovely. Let's have a little look then at this new collection. I almost forgot to share my screen, which is kind of a key component of this video. So let me just go in and share my screen so you can see what we're looking at. So this is an exclusive sneak peek. If you aren't signed up to their email newsletter, you won't have seen this yet. So let me show you. Okay, so yeah, so this is the 90s supermodel. So we have a few pieces. I do find that this is a little bit of almost of a deviation from Rouge's normal style. I find their style is very like floral, feminine, frilly usually, whereas this is more pared back. Obviously it's got that 90s supermodel vibe to it, so it's all about like 90s minimalism, simplicity, which isn't really my thing, I'm not gonna lie. They've got these very 90s style bags. I've never tried a Rouje bag. I honestly think a lot of their bags are very similar to Favette bags in the style, the design, the little clasp on it, and I would always go Favette over Rouje. I just think, why not support a smaller female found? I mean, I know Rouje is a female founded brand, but you know, a much smaller like independent brand compared to, you know, Rouje I feel like is a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it fast fashion, but you know what I mean? It's not quite as small and boutique. So moving down, none of this is really like my vibe. I quite like this top. The thing with Rouje, as I've said, is that it just, the composition is just not there a lot of the time. This is really pretty, like as a simple basic. This is the sort of thing I love because I'm so like, I just don't buy those really plain basics anymore. Like if you think of like a plain racerback tank, This would be my version of that. It has the ribbing, it has the slight scalloped neckline. I mean, it's described as pointelle, which, is it pointelle? I don't know. Either way, it's just like that more feminine take on a simple basic. And this is actually 100% organic cotton. Okay, I thought this was going to be viscose. I really like that. I don't know if I need it. I mean, I don't need it, but I don't think it's something I would add to my wardrobe. But if I was looking for something like this is exactly the sort of thing I would get. Exactly the sort of elevated, more feminine style basic compared to something really plain that you might get at COS or a Ket or something. Not that there's anything wrong with those brands at all, it's just not really my style, whereas this is exactly my style. Same with the Hugo sweater, right? It's like a simple, lightweight, short-sleeved sweater. It's viscose polyamide, so okay, I'm not going to recommend this one, but it is very pretty. If that was cotton, this is the thing, like, why was that first top organic cotton and then this one is 65% viscose, 35% polyamide? Ugh, it's like quite a difference, right? And the price point is the same. The price point is like comparable, but yeah, the compositions can be so different. So you really have to check that label with Rouje. Never take for granted that it's going to be a good composition. Rouje love a knee-length skirt, don't they? They always bring them out. I can't stand them. I really don't like a knee-length skirt. It's just not my cup of tea. It looks, I mean, it looks amazing on her, obviously, but anything would. I just don't think it's very flattering on most people. I don't really like, this is kind of like a dress version of that top, but it's a little bit too bodycon for me. Their basket bags are really pretty. They're a little bit expensive, I think, for what they are, but I do love all of like the floral designs they do. I do think they're very nice. Not sure about that print. That print's a little bit like jarring on the eyes for me. Grey's not really my cup of tea, but if that was in a different colour, I quite like the silhouette of that. I just love that Rouje does these really feminine silhouettes because I do find them quite hard to find at other brands. Even at Sézane, right? Everything is quite oversized, quite baggy, even though they do a lot of frilly stuff, lacy stuff. It's all quite large, whereas Rouje does a lot more fitted pieces. Yeah, I'm not sure about this print. It's very, I don't know, it's just not my favourite. I do like these little tops that they do. The white English embroidery corset effect top. I do like a corset back top where you can kind of pull it tight or loose. I think that's quite a nice design detail. This one's 100% organic cotton. I like that as like a simple summer basic. I think that's really nice. 95 euros. I mean, it's pricey, but it's similar to Sézane. Can't say that now. This is like very 90s minimalism, chic. If that's your style, I would take a look because it is very pretty. It's just not really my style. This is like a top version of the bodysuit that I have, the burgundy bodysuit, but I would probably wait until it's on sale because I think I got mine for 30 euros or something like that, a lot less than 55. The suede jacket's quite nice. Again, it's like a feminine take on what everyone is doing. I mean, you're going to find suede blazers and jackets at the moment at every brand. COS, Ket, Massimo Dutti, but they're always in that oversized masculine style, that oversized boyfriend blazer. And if that's not your style, it's really hard to find things that are in feminine cuts, whereas Rouje have brought their own version out. And of course, it's cinched at the waist, right? It's more fitted on the shoulders. It's not so oversized. So yeah, I don't love the safari style, annoyingly. I kind of wish it was a little bit pared back, a little bit less of the pockets and the buttons and all that. But it is nice that they have those more feminine options. Also, it comes in red. Ooh, interesting. I've not seen a red suede jacket before. That's quite cool. I really don't wear a true red. I actually don't have any in my wardrobe. It's one of those colours that I really love. I mean, I know pop of red has been everywhere, but I just feel like it clashes with the rest of my wardrobe, even though red is supposedly kind of a neutral. I feel like it's a little bit too bright and too harsh. I do tend to prefer more softer colours, even though the brighter, like more jewel toned colours would probably suit me better. Just my personal preference has always been for like slightly more desaturated, muted colours. So red doesn't really go in with that, but I do really appreciate it on other people. I love this little basket. I mean, it's kind of like impractical because you can see through it. It doesn't look like it would hold up very well over time. 145 euros. It's very cute though. I do really like it. Yeah, I wouldn't buy it, but I can appreciate it. I quite like this floral patterns. This is like more traditional rouge for me. That 90s supermodel stuff is a little bit like, it's not really very similar to the brand's like identity. Whereas these floral pieces, this is very rouge. This is very classically rouge. Yeah, I really like the pattern. I don't really like any of the silhouettes, annoyingly. I like the cardigan, but then I don't like the fact that the cardigan is more muted than the other pattern. That's really annoying. I love this more like saturated. I've just said I like desaturated things, but I like this more bold pattern more than this desaturated, very muted, like faded take on it. But I like the cardigan more than any of the other pieces. This is what always happens, right? This is why I love looking at these pieces, but I never end up buying anything because there's always something slightly off about one piece. I like the body actually. The Belia bodysuit. That's really nice. That's in the more like strong pattern. That's very pretty. Although I did sell my Suzanne floral bodysuit because I never wore it. So I don't know why I'm looking at a Rouge floral bodysuit. Really nice composition as well though. 95% organic cotton, 5% elastane. That's what we like to see. That's nice, that denim jumpsuit. I don't really get this satin mini bag, polyester bag for 165 euros. Yikes. Yeah, 100% polyester. That I'm not keen on. I think that is not a good buy. Their trousers, I'm not really talking much about their trousers because I just know they don't work for me. I just tend to avoid them, unfortunately. Oh, I really like this pink stripe. This pink striped shirt is really cute. I mean, you could definitely get a pink striped shirt vintage or unvinted or at a cheaper brand. It's nothing special. I've seen them all over the place. In fact, I'd probably get a pink striped shirt from with nothing underneath, which would be cheaper than this. But I do like this one. I'm guessing it's cotton. Yeah, 100% cotton. I like that it's slightly less oversized. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that is really what I go to Rouge for when I'm like, I want something feminine. I want something less oversized, less boxy, less masculine. All these high street brands, that's like almost all they do at the moment, or at least for the last few years. I feel like the tides are turning slightly with the kind of reintroduction of boho style. It's getting a little bit more feminine, but I still feel like it's quite hard to find more fitted pieces. So I do like that. I quite like the crop little version, although this style of top almost reminds me of like a nurse's uniform or a doctor's uniform. I feel like you just need one of those little watches that go on the pocket. What's it called? A pocket watch? You know what I mean? The ones that are like hang down and have the little like clip. I feel like that just is giving very like medical uniform, albeit it is quite sweet, but yeah. I like this skirt, but I wish it wasn't knee length. I wish it was midi or maxi, even better. And I like this wrap cardigan as well. This kind of does crack me up though. I do really like it, but like this is what happens to me whenever I try and wear wrap style cardigans or dresses. And it's kind of funny that they've styled it this way to me, because that is why I never buy wrap style cardigans and dresses and tops, because they always don't close properly and they always just show my entire bra. But I guess it's a look on Rouge. I guess it's intentional, but it is why I never buy them, which is kind of funny how they've styled it. These are like very summery. These are nice, like pretty, very Rouge, a lot of gingham. I love this gingham set, really gorgeous. Another one of those. This is actually, ooh, I actually quite like that. That is giving slightly less doctor's uniform vibe, maybe because of the gingham. I love the little frill on the sleeve. I like the length. I love the corset back. I like that. I really like that. That's something I would buy. Why are all the things I want to buy never available immediately? It's always like you have to wait a month for it to ship out, but I do like that. The dress as well is quite sweet if you like a mini, more like fitted body, not bodycon, but fitted dress. And then they have a few shoes. I quite like these, the Floriana mules. Those are quite pretty. I know they're like bordering on a mesh shoe, and I'm very against mesh shoes, but something about those that I could kind of get on board with, because you're not like your foot's not fully enclosed in mesh, so it's almost it's a lot more breathable. I don't know how like long lasting it would be though. They're quite cute though. I also like the Venetian pumps, although those remind me of Suzanne shoes. I feel like you could probably get a cheaper version at Suzanne and it would probably be higher quality, if not the same quality. So they're probably a skip, but they are really pretty. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed chatting through some of the new collection with me and also seeing my Rouge collection. What do you think of my collection? Do you own much from Rouge? Do you buy from them on a regular basis? I know some people really love them and some people really hate them. It's a little bit of a Marmite brand. Saying that, I'm kind of in the middle. I actually do appreciate a lot of their cuts, their silhouettes, their very feminine feel. But some of the material compositions I think really let them down. So I feel like you have to be very picky and you have to read labels and you have to try things on and you have to be prepared to pay to send things back, which always stings a little bit, but I do think it's worth it and I would definitely buy from them again. I'm pretty pleased with everything I have from Rouge at the moment, although I will say that I mostly wait for their sales, I mostly wait for their archives. I very, very rarely buy things full price from them. Thank you very much for watching. I better go now, the sun is about to creep around the corner and soon you won't be able to see me anymore. You can already see the reflection of my mic, my little fluffy dead cat on my mic, so time to go. I'll also leave some videos on screen. If you're not done watching, you might like one of these two to watch next. I hope you're all doing really well and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!